Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want us to look at what is happening in Israel. There's so much chaos right now that is going on in Israel, and it has now turned into a conflict that might end up swallowing a big chunk of the Middle East. Already Israel has been hurling missiles towards Lebanon. It has been hurling missiles towards Syria, and already conflict. There's so much going on right now in Gaza. There's so much going on in the Temple Mount or Al-Aqsa Mosque if you are a Muslim, in the West Bank. And the question is, what is the cause of all this surprise chaos? I think so many people out there don't even know that in Israel right now it is fire everywhere. The government that is in Israel right now is extremely right-wing. It's extremely leaning toward the religious extremists, Jewish extremists. From its ministerial appointments to the coalition partners, because the government right now is formed of around 6 coalition partners, with around 2 or 3 of them being religious extreme parties. And it started with the reforms, the judicial reforms. The government wanted to do reforms such that the judiciary, which controls its own appointment of judges, the bill that was pushed to the Knesset was to make the bill that was being pushed by the ruling government, the ruling coalition, was to have the appointment judges done by the executive. That whenever the president assumes power, he reserves the right to appoint judges, and then maybe have them vetted, as we usually do in Kenya, and then afterwards they are passed. So the bill really brought a lot of division in Israel, because there are some groups like the military which does not support the judiciary being interfered with, because they believe it's going to give the executive too much control over the judiciary. There are other groups like the religious extremists who are supporting it, because the judiciary is shooting down so much of the agenda of the right-wing government, like the increase of settlements around contentious areas, because we know the right-wing in Israel usually wants to dominate too much of the minorities like the Palestinians, and they will go as far as acquiring land that is Palestinian and building settlements, illegal settlements in them, which even goes ahead to fuel more conflict. Now, these protests have become so much. They've become so volatile. So many people in the streets right now in Israel, to the extent that I believe Netanyahu feels his power is now threatened. These demonstrations may end up toppling him immediately, not because these demonstrations started in around January. They've been picking steam and growing in size, and during the Passover night, something happened. The mosque, the Temple Mount, was invaded by policemen. People were beaten up at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and most of these people were injured. But then there was fireworks in the mosque. I believe it is the people in the mosque who know where the fireworks came from, because it is believed it is them who carried the fireworks. And this has escalated into now a conflict that is almost involving other countries. What happened on April 5th that caused conflict at the Al-Aqsa Mosque? During the Passover, April 5th is the day of the Pesach, is the beginning of the Pesach. The Pesach runs for a week. And during that day, there were rumors milled around that there was a group of extremist Jews who wanted to invade them, to get into the mosque compound and do sacrifices, goat sacrifices. This is a tradition that has been practiced by the Judaism from ancient times of offering sacrifices during the day of the Pesach. So once these rumors milled around and permeated into the Arab society of Israel, people organized themselves and activists went to the mosque and pitched camp there, waiting for the other side that was coming to offer sacrifices. And so later on, the police invade the mosque with the pretext that there were people who were armed inside the mosque. And it escalated and it has grown into full-blown conflict now, with missiles coming from Gaza, missiles coming from the West Bank, Israel retaliating and throwing missiles into Lebanon, Syria, and this is getting dangerous. I tend to believe that this is a ploy by Bibi or Benjamin Netanyahu, the minister, to divert attention from himself and his judicial reforms towards the Jewish-Arab issue, which always unites Jews. And in that way, he's going to survive politically before the 4 years are over, because the next elections are in 2025. What do you think? Share your comments, like, subscribe, and thank you for passing by. See you on the next one.